us tonight are two of the Great Western War stewards, Master Christian de Guerre and Magistra Claudia Prima. And featuring a live performance by Her Excellency herself, Caid's own Lady Kungund Benehonig. And me, haha, I am your announcer, Master Bjorn of the Northern Sea. And here's your host, Master Laertes McBride.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Hope you had an enjoyable couple of weeks till we were last on. It's August. Isn't that crazy? So got a couple of quick announcements. Hold on. This is being finicky on me right now. A couple of quick announcements before we get into the show. First off, just a reminder that letters of intent for those planning on entering Crown Tournament are due on September 5th. So less than a month. I was looking at they did take away the requirement to have been at 5 events in the past 6 months. Due to the COVID issues. I also noted that being authorized for armored combat is not listed in the specific requirements for Crown Tournament. Anyway, so that's due on September 5th for, of course, Crown being fought on September 25th in Dunor. Also coming up on the calendar on August 21st is Festival of the Rose for celebrating Her Majesty Catherine. And then Rapier Open will be on September 11th in Doric. The official announcement should go out for that this week. That's pretty much all of that. Oh, and one last thing, a shout out to my little buckaroo, His Excellency Nico, on his birthday today. He's at the Altavia practice right now. But be sure to give him a shout out for his birthday. Let's go ahead and bring in Bjorn. He'll be here in just one moment. And here he comes. Hello, Bjorn.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. For those watching, just a couple things before we get into announcements. One, if you enjoy the show, be sure to like our Facebook page, Live from Caid. Also go in and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And be sure to share this content with your friends so we can continue to bring this amazing content to you every other week. And then secondly, please be sure to stick around after our Bardic performance this evening for a special announcement too. So that's all I got. You want to go ahead and turn over to your arts and science websites for the day?
Absolutely. First things first. Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your weekly time away from Laertes and myself, except for those of you that have had the misfortune of seeing us at various events, in which case you have my deepest condolences. Now on to the more important matters, and that is all of the wonderful things that I'm going to be talking about this week. First things first. So yes, definitely like, subscribe, and join our series, Facebook and also on YouTube. Do the same thing, if you wouldn't mind, for the Kingdom of Caid. And also, if it is at all possible, I would very much like you to do the same for another kingdom that we're going to be spotlighting today, and that is the Kingdom of Glenavon. Now, the Kingdom of Glenavon, which comprises of almost all of Arkansas and a small amount of Tennessee, and then also Mississippi and Louisiana. That particular kingdom is it wants to do some things, and it has some plans that it would like to do some live streaming and some other things. But in order for it to do that, it needs a certain number of subscribers. So I would like to promote the Kingdom of Glenavon so that they can get the things that they need to get, because they want to do some like live streaming services for their fighting. And yes, we are, with the exception of Hawaii, we are basically Southern California and Las Vegas, the areas around Las Vegas. So geographically, we're not that large. They are a much larger kingdom, although we have a good number of a larger number of folks. So for them to not always be able to get together, they would like to be able to do some things digitally, even though we are moving forward with in-person events. And so if we can help a newer kingdom, a smaller kingdom, just by showing up and occasionally watching their fighting things, or they have wonderful videos from their grand chefs, which we've promoted on our show before, please give it a look and give it a subscription. The second thing I wanted to talk about is also from the Grand Chefs and also from Glenavon. It is from my dear friend and cousin, Mistress Ariel de Brabazon. She has a video on the Kingdom of Glenavon website, for Facebook, called Campaign Cooking and Feasting, Episode 4. And this talks about what to do with a primitive setup. Now, I should comment that she is cooking in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, which is the barony of Graynish, which is very close to the Mississippi River. So they probably have a little more humidity than we do in virtually all of Southern California that's not right along the beach. As such, when she prepares her primitive fire pit and does the necessary things to use the Dutch oven and use the skillets and use all of the coals and the way that she does, make sure that before you do everything that she does, also check your immediate surroundings and that you have a fire extinguisher ready just in case, because it just takes one spark. But it is fantastic cooking. She is an amazing Grand Chef. She has been one since the mid 80s, and it is her doing many things that she does very well and also experimenting with some things. Like she admits to not having a great deal of expertise with Dutch oven cooking with coals. So you get a chance to see someone who has a very good skill set, who's also doing some things that maybe some of us do all the time. We use Dutch ovens all the time at war and such, but it's kind of neat to see a person who is sharing their love and appreciation for an aspect of our society, both as an experienced and learned person and someone who is trying to learn more things. I think that's one of the great things about being an artisan in the SCA, is also learning more things about your chosen geek out subjects. So those are the two things that I wanted to talk about this week, and I'm just really looking forward to the information that we're going to be getting later on with our first set of guests, because who knows, some of that information about cooking will be utilized on their site. But that's it, and thank you so very much for listening to the Arts and Sciences Corner.
Right, and if you ask my wife, I'm pretty much an expert about creating a Dutch oven. That's what you mean, right? You know.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
No, my anniversary isn't until October, unless it's the anniversary of my birth, and that was last week.
It's your natal day anniversary. It's where you made another trip around the sun, good sir.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, speaking of our guests this evening, and not Dutch ovens, who do we have coming up?
We have two of the three event stewards for Great Western War, Master Christian Duguerre and Magistra Claudia Prima, who will be joining us today.
All right, let's bring them in. And they're going to be in, right? Man, look at that. They came in together. How about that?
Oh.
Hello.
Good to see you, Laertes.
Good to see you.
Salvete, Caid.
Wow, so fancy. Is that Dutch? Anyway. So that's just one thing is it's actually a three-headed monster that's running Great Western, right? So who are we missing? Who are we missing this evening?
Missing Ismay tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately she couldn't make it.
Right. So she's in charge of she's the back of house steward, right?
Correct.
So do you want to explain right quick, each of you, what your kind of area of responsibilities for running Great Western are, and then we'll kind of get into the event.
Sure. Claudia, you want to do that, or you want me to take it?
Sure, I can explain. So I'm the friendly one. And I was chosen to be front of house, which is everything that has to do with the facing the public. So my duties are registration. I oversee registration, the gate, HQ, and volunteers, and arts and sciences, and publicity, and some other things. And Ismay is, she has wonderful experience doing our back of house duties, which are everything that's behind the scenes. So when you need a hot shower, then that is the person that gives you the ability to have a hot shower at war. Also, anything that has to do with production, setup, tear down, all of that is in Ismay's wheelhouse. And then Christian is our activities steward, and also all of the different battle scenarios and fighting scenarios. So everything from heavy weapons, rapier, archery, drone weapons. What else, Christian?
Well, even some gaming this year, right? We have
Oh
we have
yeah,
some
and he's
gaming
doing
that's
our
going this
gaming.
year. So pretty much anything that's something to do with the war, that's my responsibility.
So my main takeaway from that is everyone should think of Ismay when they're taking a shower at Great Western War, and then just let her know. That's what that
Sure.
she was in their
As
thoughts as they showered.
As long as it's a warm shower. If you have a nice, warm, clean shower, then yes. But cold showers, no.
Wow, man, that
All
took the
right.
turn I was hoping it would take, but still. Okay, so let's just talk about, come back a little bit more macro. Let's talk about Great Western War. What are the dates? And we actually have some Out of Kingdom people watching. I shouldn't say actually. We have out of state people watching, Out of Kingdom people. Can you just kind of give a brief overview of Great Western War, where and when, etc.?
Sure. So this year's a little bit different than most years because we had the ability for people to arrive without registering. And typically when we did registration, those pre-registered folks would be able to come on Tuesday, while this year, due to COVID, unfortunately, we have to have everybody register for the event. So the actual event will go live October 5th. And will be through October 11th. So the site will open at noon on October 5th and close at noon on the 11th.
Okay. And what's the cost and all that kind of stuff?
We're looking at, for camping, it is $70 for members, $75 for non-members. You will be able to do day tripping as well. Day tripping is $20 for the first day, and there's a multi-day discount if you do 3 days, for example. We have a lot of folks that are planning on doing hoteling this year. So there is a little bit of a discount when we do that as well. Claudia will talk a little bit more about that as far as some of the hiccups we're having on the website with regards to day tripping. But yeah, obviously, children this year, any children 11 and under are free, so they're guests of the kingdom. And then we do have a discounted rate for our teens, tweens, or whichever you want to call it. It's going to be pretty interesting. So, Claudia, you want to touch a little bit more on the day tripping side?
Yes. So you are able to register for just one day right now on the website. And unfortunately, they only allow you to register for one day. So if you want to attend for more than one day, that's fine. You can do that. You can either pay when you come to gate, you have to register in advance for that one day. And you don't even have to tell us which day that is, but it'd be nice if you let us know. You can do that in the of the registration form. So you can register for one day, and then you can pay for extra days when you arrive, or if you'd rather pay everything in advance, that's fine too. All you have to do is ask the registrar to contact you, and they can actually take your payment online, over the phone, and it's pretty easy to do. I know it sounds a little complicated, but it's really simple to do. Speaking of registration, if anyone has any trouble at all with registration or anything on the website that you're wondering about, please feel free to contact any of us at any time. It's super easy to reach out to us via email. It's just stewards with an S, stewards at gww.sca-caid.org. And that goes to all three of us, to Christian, myself, and to Ismay, and one of us will respond to you right away. Please don't just sit there and be worried that you can't register or worried about your issue that you have, please contact us. We're super friendly and we want to talk to you. So contact us anytime with any questions and we will help you to the best of our ability. Registration is open, and I believe that, yeah, it's www.sca-caid.org, and you can just click on register, and that takes you to the SCARS system, SCARS system, which is on the SCA website itself. You will log in. If you're a member, you can log in with your membership information and it will allow you to register. You just click on events and it'll show you all the events coming up. If you're not a member, that's okay. We want to see you too. You can create an account, even if you're not a member, you can create an account on the SCA website and just log in and register that way. A couple other things that I wanted to chat with everybody about is really importantly is volunteering. So our volunteer sign up website is open now, and you can find that on the Great Western War website under staff, and then volunteers is a drop down. Just click on that and it'll take you to the volunteers page, and you can click to the I volunteer site and sign up for whatever job you want. Sign up early and sign up often. We need lots of volunteers. And if you sign up early, you're going to get that shift that you really love to do. Encourage your baronies and your households to do like a group volunteer at Gate or at HQ or wherever you like to volunteer. It takes a lot of people to run this war, and we want to see everybody, not only your shining faces as volunteers, but you also can help your local group because it's a cash incentive for volunteers. So that's always nice too. So yeah, that's about all I have for now. Christian, what do you want to add?
Yeah, so something we just rolled out to the camp masters a couple weeks ago was an incentive for hosting gaming at the war. And we had planned on last year being the D2020 war. So it's to celebrate gaming and how many of us found the SCA through mutual friendships within gaming and really kind of explore gaming throughout history. And unfortunately, we didn't get to host last year, so we're going to do the D21 war. And essentially what that means is we're kind of thinking a carnival-esque kind of atmosphere where camps can host gaming in their camp. It could be, I think one recently we got was a giant Jenga with a catapult that's going to be flinging at the Jenga, which sounds really, really fun. We've got plenty of adult libation games where people will be able to drink. There's card games, there's board games. We wanted to open it up for the populace in the camps to be able to show their creativity. And as a reward of that, we're offering land grants for those who sign up and participate in this program. The caveat is that it needs to be open to the public. It does need to be in the gate book. And pretty much the land that you need as well, it needs to fit within the time period and loose time period for the SCA. I've seen Magic the Gathering tournaments. And that's fine. But fantasy kind of fits within our realm as well. Not everybody is a super historical buff. But we really want to bring fun. It's been 1.5 to 2 years of misery, and we'd love to have as much fun as possible at the event.
So is mead pong considered period?
I think it could be. Yeah, sure. Was it wooden cups?
Right, wooden cups.
Sure, why not? We don't know. Just because they didn't find it doesn't mean it wasn't actually in history.
Right. And, I think I'll petition Altavia to do that. So considering, like you're saying, considering the current situation that we're in,
yep.
What differences in the experience at this Great Western War due to the COVID
Sure.
situation? What can we expect to be different compared to what we would normally have at Great Western?
Sure. The first and foremost, we try to do is as cashless as possible. So any gate transactions, and we're going to push for headquarter transactions to be in a credit card type format rather than taking cash. We will have washing stations at every porta-john station, as well as additional cleanings in the showers, etc. We're setting up different seating arrangements within merchants, for example, so people don't have to necessarily crowd into the crowded tents. And of course, for those who wish to wear their masks, masks are for those folks who really want to do that, they're highly suggested that they'd wear them if they'd like.
Okay, and sites in Kern County, is that correct?
Correct.
So, as we get closer, if there's changes that either the state or Kern County put into place, of course, y'all will have to adjust. And of course, as a participant, we'd have to adjust too. Absolutely. But just because something happens in LA County doesn't mean it directly impacts Great Western more. Correct. So I'm sure y'all will be putting out updates if anything happens.
Absolutely. As we get a little closer, I've been emailing the camp masters weekly on any updates. I'm trying to filter that as much as possible through the camp masters, and as well as publicity. Any publicity changes will happen as well. Thankfully, we're pretty much like 99% of it's an outdoor venue. We don't really have an indoor venue other than maybe headquarters and gate. So that will help us in that aspect. We don't expect a lot of issues, but we have had a lot of requests for, what's the time frame for cancellation, that kind of thing. Right. Registration is open till September 15th. So for those who want to wait till the end, we totally understand. I think we're up to right around 1,000 people right now, which is great. And we really want to put the safety of our guests first and foremost. It's not about making money; it's about making sure that we have a good time, but at the same time, putting their safety as well. We're also in the process of contacting the EMTs in Bakersfield to see if they'll be on site for us as well in case we do have any issues.
Great. And it's my understanding, like on personal encampments and such, if someone wants to put stricter requirements, whether you have to have a mask or be vaccinated and such, that is really up to each encampment. There's not any type of regulation or anything. It is a personal choice. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. If you want to have your camp completely surrounded by walls, and allow only people who are vaccinated into your camp, or just your own household, that's perfectly fine. We want everybody to feel very safe and secure. And if that means just coming and camping with your friends, that's okay. Yep. We want everyone to have a great time. And some people may just want to get out and go camping, medieval style, with just their family, and that's fine. We're perfectly okay with that. We want everyone to have a good time. So
now, are the regular food vendors going to be there too? Have they been impacted by the situation, or is it's going to be more like it would normally be?
We have 5 food vendors, which is the most we've had in a few years. We have is it Oscar Christian?
Oscar's Meat Pies. Yeah, he's back.
Oscar Meat Pies, and we have the Far East vendor who everybody really loves. We've got the crepe.
Yep, Daybreak Coffee. They're back. Yep. And Sarsparella's back too.
Yeah, Sarsaparilla too, right?
Yep.
Are the Euro guys there? Because that's my favorite.
No. The Euros?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not sure if Daybreak has the Euros or not. I don't think they do, unfortunately.
Well, I think I'll still go anyway.
Great. Wait till you guys see Oscar's new
his trailer.
Truck he got. It's really gorgeous, and we're excited to have them there.
But overall, it sounds like it'll be basically the experience we're used to at Great Western War, with opportunities to fight in whatever discipline you want, archery, thrown weapons, arts and science activities, the enthralling Grand Court. Um, I know there will be some vigils and an elevation, one I know of. So it sounds like we're trying to return to some normalcy, but also recognizing the current situation we're in.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be broadcasting court live if we can. We can get the technology to work out, so that way, if folks don't feel like they want to sit in, 200 people or 300 people, they'll be able to watch it later on as in recorded format, or if they want to stream it in their camp, they can as well. As well as we'll be looking at doing that with the morning cries as well, just so people have a better understanding of what's going on. So on the website as well, there is a link to sign up for a news blast. We plan on sending that to everybody at the site while we're on site. So if there's any changes to anything that people need to know about, we'd love to be able to communicate any cleaning or any issues that we have going on the site as well.
Well, awesome. I think I've exhausted my questions. I'll step away and let Bjorn come in. So here we go.
Once again, thank you both for being with us this evening. I had sort of prepped you both with this question, but with the unfortunate loss, I think society-wide, to Estrella War no longer being part of Atenveld, at least not in the foreseeable future and not in its current incarnation, how much more emphasis do you think will be placed on the remaining inter-kingdom events that are on this side of the world, like West Ontier War,
Sure.
Cook's Playdate, and of course Great Western War? How much more does it kind of put more pressure on you guys, or what?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's more pressure, if it's just a little bit more visibility. Great Western has a really outstanding history of stewards and events and vigils and elevations and everything like that, just like Estrella has. And I remember my first Estrella back at Estrella 10, and I love that event. It's an amazing event, and it's going to be dearly missed for the next couple of years, and hopefully we'll see that soon. But also at the same time, for those who we're hoping to do something at Estrella, we're opening up if anybody out of Kingdom would like to host something at Great Western as well. We'd love to be able to take care of you on that as well.
Thank you. The next question I have involves the on the ground efforts with Taft, with Kern County. So since you have someone that deals with back of the house and front of the house and activities, who is really the person that would deal with the city of Taft and Kern County for any on-the-fly changes as it gets closer to the event?
Christian, do you know who that? I can't remember.
Yeah, our site liaison. That's Mr.
Yeah. Of course, we have somebody who is local now to Taft, and that is Mr. Spinella. She is our site and county liaison, and she's been doing a wonderful job of jumping through all of the hoops of fire that Taft and Bakersfield have given her, including a change of staff in the middle of our event.
Unfortunately, the person who handled our event retired, and we have a new person that's handling all of the paperwork. So,
but Fenella is doing a phenomenal job, and we're really lucky to have her. Very lucky.
Well, I agree with you. I think Caid is definitely lucky to have her, and I know that with her on the staff working as she does with the public all the time mundanely, I know this is just definitely right up her field of expertise area. So that's going to be fantastic. My last question for you all is what is the main thing you each would like to have at this Great Western War that will remind you of the before times? Is there one thing in particular that you want to take place at this upcoming war that will help you make it feel like, this is what it used to be like?
You want to go first?
The 3DC party.
Yeah, I think the big thing I think is just our focus is really about having fun. And I think that for those of us, and including myself, I'm not much of a digital player of the game. It's always been about the people, seeing people's smiles and the amount of joy that we can create by hosting an event for somebody is really what I'm hoping to get out of it. Every event I've ever hosted, it's always been about that. The amount of work is totally worth seeing the joy and people talking about how amazing an event it was. And I'm hoping we can deliver that this year.
And one of the things that I also am really looking forward to is all of the arts and sciences projects that people have been creating while we've been stuck at home this last year and a half. We plan to have a really robust arts and sciences area, and including classes and displays and demos. The demos are going to be really great. So we're all looking forward to that. That's my wheelhouse, is arts and sciences. I love it. So if you are thinking of teaching a class and you haven't submitted your class proposal yet, Countess Dinah is our arts and sciences steward this year, and she would be happy to accept your arts and sciences class proposal and fill you in on all of the different things that we're doing in ANS this year. So
Thank you both very much. I really appreciate it, and thank you for answering my questions. And I guess when Laertes says that, and now these questions, I do ask the ones that are a little more, ephemeral. But that's because, just as you have mentioned, Christian, yes, we've done a lot of thinking. We've done a lot of mind pieces online in the digital SCA, and now that we're actually going to get a chance to see our favorite peoples in the flesh. All the things that people have been thinking over the last 15 months, 18 months, now it's kind of like, and I get to do the thing. So I just wanted to make sure that
Sure.
I could have you guys put out your own personal, because yes, you are the ones that are going to be helping make this event possible for so many other folks, but you also have to have fun too. So
Sure.
I appreciate you answering my questions, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to Laertes for the game.
thank you.
I believe you're muted. That's one part of the game.
That's a dream for everyone. I was going to say, I'm sure I can tell by your expression, you're super excited about the game. So this is the part of the show where we come and play a little trivia game that is somehow connected to what we've been discussing, or your roles and responsibilities. But it really works that way. But anyway, so Bjorn, what is the name of the game for this week?
This week's game is Give Peace a Chance.
That's right. So as the two of the three main stewards of Great Western War, I'm sure you're well aware that it's not the first war that Caid has been involved with. So I have some wars here with slight description on some, and y'all just need to tell me, was this really a Caid war event or not? So it's true or false. Got a 50% chance. And I mean, y'all have been around forever, so you should know whether I've made this up or not. Okay, so we'll start easy. Okay, so how about Darkwell War? Was Darkwell War a real event in Caid?
True.
And where was
That
it?
is my very first war that I ever went
Right.
to.
That's actually where I met Claudia, actually.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
And who was the host? What geopolitical unit was the host of that?
Well, technically it was the barony of Dunor, but there's still some argument on who's supposed to have hosted it.
Right. Well, it was up in Dunor, right? Okay, so good. See, I told you I'd start easy. So, okay, so that's that one. How about, here's another reason. West Caid War.
Yes, that was definitely a war. A real war.
And what was unique about it?
Go ahead, Christian.
So a lot of times it was at Hickey Park. Hickey Park is an amazing park. They have this one valley of trees where trees were on either side, and they fought the bridge battle there. It was just amazing.
Right, and it would alternate who was the host kingdom.
Yes,
That's correct.
And
West
Similar to West Antier.
Right, and it'd be right on the northern border. I also had an amazing drunk trap that surrounded part of it.
It
Where
did, yes.
you would find drunks in the morning. Oh, and it's also the war we found out that the West doesn't like combat archery on the heavy field. I'm not supposed to say that? Crap. Okay, so how about, War of the Roses. And it's basically, it was where the Order of the Rose would recruit chivalry members to build a squad, and they would determine who the Supreme Rose was. Did that happen in Caid or not?
Not in Caid, I don't
I don't
think.
believe so.
Oh, but wouldn't it be cool if it was? Seeing the roses out there fighting it out? No, I totally made that up, but we should definitely try to make that happen. How about the Western Seas Lockup War? And that was to determine who really could claim they were the farthest from mainland Caid. And they would be able to say that for the year. Is that a real event or not?
I'm going to go with false, but
I don't think it was, but could have been.
Could have been. Good way to hedge your bet. No, it wasn't a real thing. How about the Great Desert War? The Great Desert War.
sounds like the first Highland War, but I don't remember it being that title.
Could be.
So yes or no? Yes or no? You can't hedge your bet.
No.
No?
False.
Actually, it was the precursor to Estrella. It was held in 1983 and 1984
Wow.
between between Caid and Adenvelt. The first one was notable because His Majesty of the West broke his hand.
Oh.
And it only lasted 2 years, shockingly. Okay, how about, here's a good one. Calathea Crusades. During the early 80s, it was a yearly war to determine if Calathea could petition to become a principality.
Whoa.
Yeah.
False. I'm going to go false.
I wasn't around in the early 80s, so I don't know.
Oh, so it's false. But I'm surprised they haven't proposed that. How about...
They haven't?
Well, maybe not as an event.
Oh, not officially.
Right. I'm going to get in so much trouble. The other one is, how about Talon Crescent War?
Yes, it's true.
True. And who was that between?
Artemisia and Caid.
Yes. And how many events did they have? How many wars did we have?
2, I believe.
That is correct. We had 2 practice runs where it was a festival, and then we got mad at each other and it became a war. Last one is Altavia versus Altavia. And it's a heraldic war to determine the correct pronunciation of the barony. Did that happen or not?
That sounds like something you would do when you were Baron, actually, of Altavia.
Doesn't it?
I'm going to go with false.
I'll hedge the bet, say true, just so one of us will be right.
See, now you've learned how to game the game. That was actually false, although I wouldn't have put it past Durin to run those. So you only missed one. That's pretty good. I'm sure the people in the Great Desert War are sad that you missed that.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So that's all I got. Two quick things. One is I'm sure there are a vast awareness of the changing situations that we're in, good and bad, and that y'all will keep us informed up to and including the last possible moment if something has to change. Right. And the pre-reg is later than normal. It's open later than normal. Is that correct?
That's correct.
To help accommodate that.
Well, because we have to register every attendee for tracing purposes, we wanted to stretch it out as far as we possibly could. And
on the odd chance that someone does show up without being pre-registered, do they get turned away?
Well, that's a good question. So we haven't really officially made an announcement on it yet, but the registration process will likely continue up until the actual war. Just there will not be a land allocated for it.
Okay.
So land allocation will stop on September 15th. We do not want to turn anybody away if possible. And as long as we can still register them, we should be able to take care of them.
Right. So just come and sleep in your car. And last thing is I know y'all were hoping to wrap this up last year, and staying around, making sure and shepherding us through these challenges, and doing the best to not only give at least me, I don't want to speak for anyone else, peace of mind that there are steps and practices in place, recognizing where we're at, that y'all are, the main goal is to make it a safe and fun event for everyone.
That's correct.
And not, let's just make it happen full speed ahead. I can say thank you very much for keeping that perspective, signing up for a whole nother year that you weren't really planning on,
right?
And just keeping this thing going and give us the opportunity to get together and celebrate making it another year. So
we appreciate it.
Thank y'all much. Say hey to Ismay. Please let her know people are going to be thinking about her while they're taking a shower. And we'll be seeing y'all again soon.
Watching.
All right. Thank you, Larry.
I can imagine the expression on her face. Thank you both. And we'll see y'all later.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Yes, Bjorn, do you have a comment?
No.
Oh man, we should. People that know Ismay, please give her I think a nice token for her to be soap on a rope. Anyway, so who do we have coming up? Speaking of soap on a rope, who do we have coming up next?
I don't know how that even remotely. Well, I guess beeswax. So the person that we have coming in to perform for us is someone who's returning. They've been on before. We're very, very fortunate to have Lady Kungund Benehonig, who's going to be coming and singing with us this evening. We're very, very actually, you know what I say? Sing. She could be telling a story. She could be reciting poetry because she does all of them. So I don't know for certain, but I do love her voice very much. So that's who we'll have with us.
Great. Well, let's bring her on. She's been very patient through our silliness. So she will be here right about now. Good evening. Oh, that's not you. Where'd she go?
Like Claudia.
Welcome back. Let's perform. You know what? I take a week off. This is what happens. Well, thanks for joining us. Goodbye. Let's try that again. Now she's going to join us right about now. Hello.
Hello.
One day I'll learn how to operate this system. How have you been?
I'm well. I'm well. I am very happy to be back to doing in-person stuff, and I'm doing all right. So
it's been about a year since you've been live with us. You did help us out for our Yule celebration. I do appreciate that. So what's been going on the past year? Anything different since last time we talked?
No, just the same old, trying all the things, doing all the things. Yeah. Doing all the things. Isn't that what you do?
So please explain to people that may not know what the hat means.
My husband, Rumboldus Kroll, and I will be the next Baron and Baroness for Drybergen. We are really looking forward to it.
So your current designation, because it's not really a title even. What are you, the Reeve and Revis? Are you the heirs? How does your barony designate your current position?
We are the heirs. You could call it Reeve and Reves, but Reves is not really a word. We can be referred to as Lord and Lady Drybergen, or which is lots of fun, you can call us your Nexcellencies, and we will gleefully answer.
I know Giuseppe just screamed a little bit because he hates that title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. So that's fantastic. So basically, it's on-the-job training, right?
Mm-hmm. From the best. Yeah.
Yeah. And when are y'all planning on stepping up?
October 30th, which is Drybergen anniversary.
Oh,
so it's go time.
That's right around the corner. Oh my gosh. So as you're entering this 4-year or 5-year adventure, what are you looking forward most about stepping into the position of helping guide the barony?
What I've learned at this point is that no one does a job alone if they don't want to. So while we're going to be wearing the coronet and we'll be Baron and Baroness, this barony is incredibly supportive. And this is not a job that I'm afraid of because we're not doing it alone. This is an amazing barony. So.
That's fantastic. And when you step down, and this is doing the long vision, so when you step down at the end of your term, IRB, what would you like to be able to say as an accomplishment, or how you left the barony when you stepped down?
That more people play, and that more people volunteer, and that more people think that being Baron and Baroness is fun.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was my takeaway from doing it.
Here.
And I assume that, when you step into the position, it takes a lot of time and focus, but I assume you'll still be carving out time for yourself to pursue your bardic interests and performing and such.
Mm-hmm. I do all the things. I don't really sleep. So we do everything. And I don't think that's going to stop.
That's fantastic. So speaking of performing, I understand you're going to perform for us this evening. Do you want to tell us about the piece you're performing? That's 4 times tonight.
Sure. So I will be singing tonight.
Yay.
Thank you. And this is a song that was written during the last year and a half of trying to craft alone, and also trying to develop my persona. So this song was born, it's a fun song, but it is born of a lot of frustration. And I want to make everything. I love crafts. I'm a very crafty person. And I want to be able to make my garb. And so as I'm picking interesting time periods and be like, okay, I could do that. I try to make the garb and I fail. And I get very upset. So this is the evolution of, I think, where my persona is going to come from. It's going to be based on whether or not I can make the garb.
Great. Well, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. So this song is called Sleeves. I think I'm gonna go 12th century out of all of the times that my persona could be. It's not for the culture. It's not for the sitting royalty. Oh no, it's 'cause I hate sleeves. Oh, hallelujah. I hate inset sleeves. It might be nothing to you, but I hate sleeves. And what's my good Lord husband to do? We've built a nice life in 1402. Well, husband dear, if you want me to sew garb for thee, then follow me to the 12th century. Oh, hallelujah, no more inset sleeves. It might be nothing to you, but I hate sleeves. And so, you take the front piece, and you attach it to the back piece with the gusset. Careful not to catch the seam allowance. Oh, forget it. I think I'm gonna go 1st century AD out of all of the times that my persona could be. It's not for the culture. It's not for the sitting royalty. Oh no, it's 'cause I hate sleeves. Oh, hallelujah, no more sleeves. It might be nothing to you, but I hate sleeves.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Let's bring Bjorn in. I'm sure he wants to say something. Very fun.
It's accurate. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I obviously I make my own stuff, and the one thing I hate making are shirts because of the sleeves. So I totally am on board with that song. I'll even rather buy a shirt than have to make the thing.
I'm with you.
Oh.
I'm afraid they don't normally find things my size on the rack. So if I don't have charming and gentle friends to occasionally make stuff, I actually had to learn to sew to make certain things. My mom, because I've been in the SA long enough, my mom actually made a lot of my first stuff, but now she's like 2,000 miles away, and it's difficult to be there for fittings. So I completely understand the sleeve thing. Yeah, I get more use out of my Greek peplos and Roman garb than I ever thought possible. But then again, it is also hot here, so it's always nice to be comfortable.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
You have quite an adventure ahead of you, Your Excellency. I envy the ride. I think we talked briefly at coronation that the experience is kind of my favorite time that I had in the SCA of having the opportunity to serve the barony in a similar position. So thank you for stepping up. Thank you for sharing your talents, and it was great to see you again.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, have a great evening, and hopefully we'll see each other again soon.
All right.
Oh, lovely as always. So normally this would be the part of the show where we would kind of do our little sign up and wrap up. I want to make a quick little statement, and Vaughn, if you'll excuse me for a moment. So normally I don't talk much about what's going on outside the SCA when it comes to me, but this past weekend I was informed, well, Saturday in the middle of the day, and then the follow-up call on Sunday evening, that my goddaughter, who's 37 years old, was admitted to the hospital on Saturday afternoon, unresponsive, and passed away from COVID-related illness on Sunday evening in Dallas. And part of the challenge with my goddaughter, who I had the opportunity to teach how to undo Velcro shoe bindings on her dad's shoes when she was still just crawling around, is that she had some autoimmune challenges throughout her life, up to and including the fact that she could not take a vaccination because of her doctor's orders. So I just want to take this moment here that if you've been on the fence about taking a vaccination, I would encourage you to look a little bit further than just yourself. Here in the SCA, we try to extol the virtues of chivalry and honor and protecting those who can't protect themselves, especially several of us in the martial period. That is part of our oath, to protect the weak and defenseless. And if it comes down to, well, I'm pretty healthy, if I get sick, I'll be fine, versus I'll be able to spread that disease to those who cannot protect themselves, I would hope you would take this opportunity to think that the oaths that we take here in the organization aren't just words. They're ideas and ideals that we should try to bring into our everyday life. So if you're thinking about getting the vaccine and you're just hesitant because, well, I don't like shots, don't think about doing it for yourself. Think about doing it for those innocents who can't, who through their health situation, they need us to provide the protection for them, to defend them, and to be there and be that chivalrous person that they need in real life. I apologize for making this a bit personal. It's still a little raw for me, but I respect my friends in the organization, and I can understand having that personal perspective on the current situation. But I think I'll end it there. But thank you for indulging me for a moment. Let's bring Bjorn back. And hello, my friend. Sorry about that. But, you know, it's what we have to deal with for the moment.
Absolutely. And my thoughts are with you and your family and with her family. A lot of us have seen death and sickness, some of us far more closer than others. And I would like to remind you all that it is important to understand that the sphere around you doesn't just stop a few feet away. I understand that 6 feet distance is for propriety's sake and for health, but that's not where your life and your world should end. You really need to think about people outside of your own sphere. This isn't a butterfly effect thing. This isn't a ripple in a pond thing. This is decency. And this is what chivalry is about. So thank you, Laertes, for sharing this news with us. And if it helps one person make a decision that can help others, then thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I'll be flying out to Texas a little bit later. Anyway, and on that note, thank you again, everyone, for enjoying and watching us and coming back at this every other week schedule that we've been doing. We'll continue that until at least Labor Day. It's not further. We'll see how this goes. We want to say thank you to our friends at Between Two Peers. They announced today that they're not coming back. They did the yeoman's work over the past year of COVID, being out there. Thank you for everything you did. We know it's not easy, and we respect. And you're always welcome to come here if you have something to say to your friends. And Bjorn, in 2 weeks, I'm going to reach out and hopefully I'll get a confirmation of it. But there's another new event, a known world event that was just announced, I think last week, and I'm trying to get the autocorrect stewards on to talk about that. It sounds fascinating to me. So once that's confirmed, I'll let you know. Who do we have coming up on the performance side?
Well, we had a person that was going to be coming in, and unfortunately, life sort of got in the way, and which is why the dear lady Kungund was stepped in at the last moment, which is another reason why she is so I'm so glad she's so bubbly to do all the things. Like, what? You need help? I'm there. So hopefully the person that wasn't able because of life will be here in the next 2 weeks. So we shall soon see. I'm very excited.
Awesome. All righty. So that wraps up our show for the evening. I got to get to Altavia practice. So Bjorn, it's great to see you, my friend. Thank you for your kind words, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. And for everyone watching tonight, join us again on what? The 23rd of August, when once again we will be live
From
Caid.
Caid.
We'll see you then.
Bye, everyone.